I was just grabbing a coffee, nothing special, just another ordinary afternoon. And then I heard my name. At first I thought I imagined it, but then I turned around and there he was. Jake, my first love, the one who at 19 I thought I'd spend forever with, the one who taught me what love felt like and also what heartbreak truly meant. And just like that, I was no longer a woman in my 50s standing in line for an overpriced latte. I was a teenager again, sitting in the passenger seat of his old car, singing along to cheesy love songs, believing nothing in the world could touch us. For a second, we just stared at each other. I saw the same sharp blue eyes, the same smirk that always got him out of trouble. But there were new things too. Lines on his face, greying hair. He looked good though, familiar but different. And then he smiled and said, "Wow, after all these years, it's really you." I didn't even think. The words just slipped out, "Yeah, it's me." And just like that, we were standing face to face. Decades later, two people who once thought they couldn't live without each other. We ended up at a cafe down the street. It felt surreal, sitting across from the person who once knew me better than anyone else. We talked, awkward at first, then easier. He told me about his life. I told him about mine. Marriage, kids, work, the things that had filled up the years since we'd last seen each other. But as we talked, I couldn't shake this weird feeling. It wasn't sadness, it wasn't regret. It was just a strange kind of nostalgia. Because part of me had always thought of him as Jake at 19. The boy who made me laugh until my stomach hurt. The boy who held my hand like he never wanted to let go. But the man sitting in front of me, he wasn't that boy anymore, and neither was I. At one point he laughed at something I said, and I caught myself staring, wondering, what if? What if we had never broken up? What if we had fought harder? What if we had figured it out? Would we have had a life together? Would we have been happy? But then, just as quickly as the thought came, so did the memory of why we ended. We were so young, we fought all the time. We loved each other deeply, but hurt each other just as much. We thought love alone would be enough, but it wasn't. It had to end. And for the first time in my life, I realised I didn't actually want to go back. I wasn't in love with Jake anymore. I was in love with the memory of him, the idea of him. Maybe that was okay. By the time we finished our coffee, the sun was starting to set. We stepped outside, standing there like we had all the time in the world. He smiled, and for a moment I saw it, that glimmer of the boy I once loved. But this time, I didn't feel heartbreak, or longing, or loss. I just felt grateful. Grateful that I had loved someone so deeply once. Grateful that I had moved on. Grateful that life had taken me exactly where I needed to go. We hugged, said goodbye. No promises to stay in touch, no what-ifs, no unfinished business. Just two people, once in love, now just a part of each other's past. And as I walked away, I knew this wasn't a tragic love story. It was just a love story. One that had its time, its place, and its own kind of happy ending.
Radiant, so pure, every thought embarks.